Hello everyone, I'm Justin. Today I will be going over the Boeing Aircraft Company's organizational structure. What we'll be going over specifically is the reason topics were chosen, the history, business description, current size, current structure, analysis of strengths and weaknesses, and recommendations for improvement. But first we'll talk about the reason the topics were chosen. It was chosen because it fits best with the skills gained for myself, mainly in aircraft maintenance, and also on the F-15E. Now, organizational structure itself, it works well with the vision, and it's formally divided, grouped, and coordinated. And there are several different types. There's divisional, functional, geographical, and matrix. What's great about it is there's structure, and the structure is what keeps things organized and running efficiently. So managers can address the design of the structure itself. And with Boeing, there were issues in the past with its organizational structure, specifically in the 787 Dreamliner, as you can see in the cartoon here. When we talked about that, we get into the history of Boeing. 1910 was essentially the start of the company. It was actually on 10 March 1910 when it happened. And they put a shipyard, or it was on shipyard in the Duwamish River in Seattle, Washington. And it was eventually founded in the Puget Sound region in 1916. Today, Boeing offers products and services for hundreds of aircraft, and they are the leader in military and commercial aircraft. When we talked about the history, we'll get into the business description. Now, Boeing's focus is on commercial aircraft. That's their main focus overall. And they lead the industry right now in commercial aircraft. They also are in Capital Corporation, which is focused on financing solutions toward the customer. They also focus on defense, space, and security. It's talking about military, and they are the largest manufacturer of military aircraft, and they also provide service to NASA. And they also have global services and support for large-scale system integration in defense, space, and security departments, internal services, where they do protecting sites, sales acquisition, equipment supplies, human resources. And what's funny about it is the F-15 was designed by McDonnell Douglas. And it was the merger for Boeing and McDonnell Douglas in the 1990s. As in, that's how Boeing ended up taking over everything that McDonnell Douglas did, like they did for the F-15. Now we get into Boeing's current size. Their annual overall revenue is around $90 billion a year. In 2016, global revenue was $94.6 billion. And what's great is Boeing does business all over the world. Again, headquartered out of Everett, Washington, but they do have one other plant in St. Louis, Missouri, one plant that I've actually seen myself. And they provide customer or services to customers in more than 150 countries. They also have manufacturing, service, and technology partnerships all around the world, on contracts with more than 20,000 suppliers. And Boeing employs more than 150,000 people across 65 different countries. What's pretty wild about it is that 70%, just how big Boeing is overall, is 70% of commercial airplane revenue comes from outside the United States. So there's different countries, all these other countries outside the US are the ones that are buying most of the commercial airplanes from Boeing. Now we'll get into the current organizational structure. As you can see right here, this is their current organizational chain of command. And there's 16 members at the top, one CEO, Dennis Muhlenberg, And then there are 15 executive council members who are all VPs or vice presidents. And there is departmentalization. As you can see right there, there's 17 different departments. What's great about the departmentalization and the different departments is the size, because of the amount of people that they have in each of the departments. All the different departments they run, they have hundreds of people in each of them. And really, in the end, it's all about organization. And the type of structure that Boeing uses is the matrix structure. And it's a combination of functional and product services. And the model that Boeing uses, as of right now, is the mechanistic. And the 3 key points to it are high specialization, clear chain of command, and centralization. What makes it good, or this type of structure, the matrix structure and the mechanistic model, is that it gives people the ability to know who is doing what and when. Now, analysis of strengths and weaknesses. Strengths of the matrix structure are the ability to facilitate coordination in multiple complex and independent activities. It also gives direct and frequent contact. And it reduces bureaupathologies, which is limiting people's tendencies to protect their territories. Along with economies of scale, is all about efficiency. And Boeing also uses or has a leadership development program, which is great. And the goal of it is to drive businesses with traditional, experiential, and continuous learning. Now, weaknesses that the matrix structure can cause are confusion, power struggles, and stress on individuals, which really is never good. The stress and other issues, it really can create problems. And one of them could be having more than one boss, as most everybody has seen from the movie Office Space. And really, people must have clear instruction on the proper chain of command. And it's the inexperienced people having the conflicts. And it's really, again, as I stated earlier, the problems that the 787 Dreamliner had. This is what happened with the 787 Dreamliner, is the inexperienced people didn't really know what was going on, didn't know what to do, and was creating conflicts. And it had a lot to do with not knowing how to do outsourcing or offshoring. Now we'll talk about the recommendations for improvement. Best thing to do is use alternate design options. It really could lead to fewer layers of the hierarchy, as far as virtual, team, and circular, or the 3R: virtual, team, and circular. Virtual is usually for smaller organizations. Team could replace a department, or would replace a department. And then circular has a center, that one center individual, and then it's spread out to the coworkers, or the workers, the employees. Another thing Boeing could do, as far as recommending for improvement, is look to other organizations for help. Other organizations that have figured out organizational structure, like the Air Force, what they use is called the ELOG 21, and it's about going leaner and lighter. And it also creates a need for stability. And really, organizational change is about downsizing, restructuring, and business process reengineering. Really, Boeing wants to create a culture to improve the quality of life at work. Well, that's what they want to do, and this is what they can continue doing. And the matrix structure is ideal for Boeing. They must take into account frameworks and what is best suited for the company. And thing to remember is, do not let the company be taken down from within, because leadership is key to prevent this. And understand the difference between strategies for making changes in creation and for change management. They want to lead, not follow, because of course short-term fixes aren't ideal. Boeing is about long-term fixes. Long-term fixes are important. And long-term fixes and the maintenance structure work well together. Keep the organizational structure intact to prevent confusion, power struggles, and stress. So today we talked about the Boeing Aircraft Company's organizational structure. We went over the reason topics were chosen, history, business description, current size, current structure, analysis of strengths and weaknesses, and recommendations for improvement. I hope everybody enjoyed my presentation.